Tap in. Tap all the way in. Let me check. Okay, we live. We live. Tap all the way in. Yep. Wake and bake. Wake and bake got your head baked. Tap in, hit the like button. Let's get one in. I got some stuff going on. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of everything today. Reach out to some good guys, you know, getting it in early. KN, what up, man? I see you, brother. Get it going. You know how we do. You know how we do, man. Come on, man. Wake and Bake exclusive. Wake up. Let's talk some dogs. Talk some dogs. Beat Show 19. What up, man? Salute to you. You know how we do, man. We get into it. We get into it, man. Get that APBT Magazine on Amazon.com. If you ain't getting it, share it. You know, at least share it. Go to Amazon.com, type in APBT, type in APBT Magazine, and you can get that joint today. Volume 1 through 5 is on there. You know, we're coming with heat. Volume 6 is coming out. Tap in if you want your stud in there, if you want your litter, you know, you want to promote your shit. Get your shit out there so you can be a part of history, man. You know, they wonder why Jeep is so premier and famous, and you know, not only quality, but a lot of them dogs, you know, they got promoted in the in crowds, right? Word of mouth. So let's get it in. Let's support the channel. Do what we got to do. Okay. I ain't gonna monetize nothing. You guys ain't gotta worry about no commercials and stuff. Not this round. Not this round. But no, I was checking out Banjo's pedigree. Banjo, obviously a good one. We can definitely talk about. You know, how many of y'all paid for that pedigree platform shit? How many of you guys? Oh man, this is crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. I don't know. What up, more Keith? Salute. You know what we do. You know, that Banjo dog is he's bred well. He's a well-bred dog. Back in those days, you know, that dog was in high regard. It was, you know, some people, everybody didn't run it, but if they did, you know, they held that dog in high regard. He wasn't one of the ones that you just forget about, right? Littermate's sister, BB Red. I think she was a grand champion also. You know, that's not often that you get two grand champions and, you know, the mother and the father. So, although that wasn't everything, but, you know, people looked at it. People looked at it, you know, when it came to creating the line, right? Of course, he, you know, he had his dealings with, you know, as far as breedings go. This is a wicked it's a wicked what's going on? Janae Johnson, what's up, man? What's going on? That red man dog looks good. You know. See what they did with this. A lot of Carver. A lot of Carver. Miss Kim dog. You know, Stompanato. Arts Missy. This Miss Kim, you know, she had to be a good one. She had to be a good little dog. Oh, yeah, one day at a time. That's all we could do. One day at a time. You get enough wins consecutively, you'll be on to something, no matter what it is. You know, you get some wins, you know, you're gonna be in good company. Yeah, just looking at some of these Carver dogs, Carver Pistol. You see that dog got a unique can't really see it. Sometimes we enhance them. You could use like AI to kind of enhance them a little bit. They'll kind of guess on, you know, what it is, check it out, see the consistency and the, you know, different color schemes, and you know, they can kind of come up with an image for this dog. Let me see. See if I can get it in there. Tap in, man. Get the magazine. Get the magazine. APBT Magazine on Amazon. Go get it. Fuck. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. The Glock in the can of the goose. One shot, knock the fuck nigga head loose. We the truth. Teach you down every week in Roost. Your neighborhood drug lords, Patrick Morse. Meet you with the 7 while I clap the force. Started with an 8 ball
situation. I should've put a trash bag over the stick. I should've put a trash bag over the stick. Hey yo, whip the coke like a maniac. Fake Mr. Max on the Yankee hat. Supreme War report shit out to CNN. Seeing is believing, you was sleeping in. I was becoming a legend by the second. I'm like Jesus, don't ever second guess me. You trying to front like the trunk and in the front. Importance eating fillets all morning. I'm gorgeous while my waves on spun. Your pockets like a raisin in the sun. Mine's like Creflo in his prime. I'm like Gretzky with 2 nines. Boom, 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 boom. I should've put a trash bag over the stick. I should've put a trash bag over the stick. Boom, 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 boom.
You know, what if I took this gun, right, and blow your motherfucking brains out? Then you bleed blood just like me, then you'd understand. I don't care about my life anymore, don't you understand? I don't give a shit. I don't.
Tap in, top of the morning. Showtime, what up? Salute to y'all, man. Everybody that pulled up, wake and bake with your boy. We keeping it thorough. Yeah, this, I don't know if, I think they got this wrong. Sometimes it be goofy. Sometimes it be real goofy, man. I don't know. That don't look like the same dog to me. You guys be the judge of it. You guys be the judge of it. Is that Carver's pistol right there? I don't know. I don't think so. They kind of, I see where they tried to make it but that dog looked like he got like a widow's peaker, like some type of discoloration up under. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. But, it's always fun to play with it. It's always fun to play with it. See what they would have looked like. A lot of stuff you're not going to see. You're not going to see a lot of it. A lot of these dogs, old pictures that, they're just so gritty. You're not going to be able to get much out of it. Talking Sporty TV, what up? Salute to you, my brother. Getting it going. Got to get my little daily double in. I'll try to get in. So I popped up early. Get some of that algorithm. Get some of that. I heard you could hype the channel. I ain't got that far yet. But if you guys see that option, hype the videos. We're just going to, carve another lane out and create our own thing that everybody's going to be sitting back, wishing they was a part of. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop, man. We created a machine, and that machine is running. That machine is well oiled. It's well oiled. Let's look at Trey Hand's Rascal. Way back in the day. Way back in the day. Just some old dogs. Old dogs carving their lane out. You know, condition weight 57 pounds. You know, that's a big ass dog right there. Okay. That's a big ass dog to be conditioned and you still 57 pounds. You're a big one. You know, we look at all these dogs back here. Some people go back here, some people don't. To me, if it don't lead back up to nothing, like if you got some banjo dog, that's where we started, and it doesn't lead back up. We gotta go way back in the late '90s and stuff to dig banjo up. Early 2000s, you know. I think you're going too far. It can't be 100 generations of, oh, I promise you it'll be better next generation. You know what I'm saying? You can't really base your yard off of that. You can. A lot of people do, but that's not, like I said, if you want to be the elite, if you want to be, you know, building something significant, you know, I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be just easy. Right? You're gonna have to pay attention to detail. What those dogs are looking like. Be honest with yourself. Bruce's Jerry. Feelied out. Feelies. No, they were some of the originators. Some of the, you know, when you see their name, it's not too far back behind that, it's unknown. Right? It goes beyond documentation. From what we know, with young guys. A lot of the guys that can fill in these blanks, they're gone. Most of them, all of them. You know, there might be a couple historians that really knew what was really behind there and they're still around. That's why I like to get a lot of the knowledge from guys that are much, much older because they can give me an idea of a wider range of age when it comes to these dogs. Because the more and more the generations go by, the more and more rubble we pour over the old generation. We cover it up. It's like old tracks in the road, right? They're gonna gravel that road. They're gonna pave that road. You know, those tracks aren't gonna be there anymore. And pretty soon, you're gonna start forgetting where those tracks even were, right? So it's important to study your pedigrees thoroughly. You know, it's not because you want to do illegal shit with the dogs. It's not that. None of this content is used for illegal purposes. It's not that. 1978 Lloyd, what up, brother? Salute. Daibo. Another good looking dog. They kept him with them ears cut too. That was a thing that they were doing a lot. I noticed on some of these dogs. Cause I don't really like it. I'm not a fan of it. The dogs that are depicted that way because they resemble so much um like the bullies and stuff. The dogs that we already know that they're a poor if you're a real APBT fancier, there might be a couple bullies that you appreciate and respect, but you automatically know off the cuff that that breed is under you. And if you like perfection and you got anything to do with trying to perfect a bloodline, you're gonna frown on those dogs. Terrence Gooch, what up? Hey man, appreciate you, man, for pulling up. He said we were talking history, pit dogs. Best part of waking up, Buck City Kennels live. Hey, we gotta get it. We gotta get it, man. Yeah, this is the old school Buck City Kennels live. Buck City Kennels live. Just going in, with the history behind these dogs, and they travel real fast. We can go to the Spike Dog, Black Shine. There's a lot of different pockets that these dogs were able to go off of Daibo and be able to create different families of dogs. I always thought that dog looked weird. They saying he's one of the best sons of Daibo. The Maloney dogs. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drift off to Maloney's Toot, and then dip off into Tombstone, and them different type of dogs. That's a good dog. One that you don't hear a lot about. Responsible for a lot of good dogs, a lot of good family of dogs. And if I had to look at the picture, I'll say, he just enjoying his animal. Condition weight 54. That was a big dog too, allegedly. Any of this information. But based on the way the dog is bred, got your Williams stuff down there at the bottom. Heavy old family. Ferguson Centipede. All those dogs. Williams dogs. Keeping it going. Tudor's Black Demon. Armitage's Tramp 2. Kobe bred dog with the lightener on the bottom. think Schoolboy said that was the old Rugged Cross. I keep forgetting what line it was, but you know, I always look at that. Always take a look at that. It's crazy looking at this on this other platform. Yeah, man. Just looking at some of the old shit. Let me go to. I want to drift. I want to drift to the tombstone. I want to drift over there a little bit. Speedy Allen's Gina on the bottom. Hey, salute, J-Bo. Salute to you, brother. Cremator dog. Tombstone red, baby. Right? You know. And these dogs were bred up. And you know, you never know who could get these dogs. Who's getting this shit off of Red Baby and Tombstone, directly off Tombstone, grandkids of Tombstone. You know, um, let me see, Anderson's Tonka. I was a big fan, huge fan of that strain. Same thing is the other one. Um, going even taking this. See this Dillinger dog. I was having dogs down off of this shit. This Dillinger dog. So back in '96 and shit, '97. You know, way back. And this was a damn good line to have. The potency of the line, the dogs, the traits, all of that, like it was is undeniable. Like you'll know if you're not getting that, right? And you see how tightly bred it is coming down off of this. I think it was one named Dun Dun or something that came off of this dog that was really getting dogs, pushing out some dogs. Or maybe he read to I know it was the Williams stuff. 10 man. Yeah, down off of 10 man and shit. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I had one right off of 10 man. It's coming back to me. You see what they got up here. Yeah, I didn't have that. I didn't have that bottom side, but it was just straight Williams, Dillinger, heavy on the Bolio, Tombstone. If I'm not mistaken, it might have had a little Tonka Bear in there too. Let me look. Tonka. Let me go to Tonka route and then hit the Tonka Bear. Williams Tonka. I'll go to Williams Tonka Bear. Go back to the other one. I knew to go to this one first. Oh, none of them, they don't got really nothing on there. That kinky dog. Hargrove Z dog. I think that pup dog was off of this dog. I had one right off of pup. But nah, that's some good bred dogs, man. If you look at it, the consistency, they're tight. You got the Klaus blood back there. Bolio, Tombstone, Maloney, wrapped up real tight. You know, them dogs. You gotta love these dogs. You gotta love these dogs. Red Tides. Gilligan. Dude, the red. You see, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing with this right here. You know, because you got this already tight. Hollingsworth Bull and Mayday's mama. You know, what more could you do than cross it back with this shit right here? Different family of dogs. Well, same family of dogs, but it's a couple generations kind of removed and bred a slightly different way. The bottom's gonna give you probably more of the Tonka stuff, Tombstone. So it's gonna be leading you to that Tombstone down that route. The top side, it's got Tombstone in it. It's Tombstones in it, but it's not just gonna be overbearing like the Bolio on this side. The Bolio is gonna be way more present than in these dogs. But it all came to a nice little blend. And you know how we do. Hey man, get that APBT magazine. You know what it is. Amazon.com. Tap in, get the magazine. APBT Magazine, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. 6 will be here next month. What more do we need to say, man? We need to tap in, get your story in there, so people can know, how you grew up with these dogs. You turned it out, and you turned it into a positive thing. I mean, we got a million bad stories to tell about these dogs and everybody that was involved with these dogs, but what I'm looking for with APBT Magazine, what we're looking for is the people that actually made it through and they on the other side trying to educate and, show a success story, Story ain't over until it ends in a success story, man. Remember that. You dig? You gotta know that. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, we got 35 in. Yeah. See, I like it, man. Getting back on my, get 20 in, 30 in. We might squeeze 40 or 50 in, right? We might hit an hour. I think we hit an hour last night just on a humbug. Feel me? Engage with that chat. And I'm gonna let the algorithm do its thing. You guys hit the like button, throw a dog a bone. Appreciate everybody that been getting that magazine. I'm telling you, even the days I don't really promote, because I was noticing, like the first few that I dropped, it was like I sell more when I go live, and then if I miss a few days, the sales would go down. They ain't really that popping. But this week, and we on volume 5. They've been just going off the shelf, bro. Just going, just randomly different ones. I gotta check and see which ones are selling. It'd be volume 1, volume 3. Let me see. The last 2 was let me check. The last 2 came. Okay, so I don't have that. But it was like volume 3 and volume 2 or some shit. Something like that. You just start to see the sprinkling, different stuff. Okay, hold up. I got it. There we go. Okay, yeah, it was a 2 and a 3. Just jumped off. And that 4 been popping, that blue one. 6 is gonna be totally different. Totally different. It's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna be popping up in there, just so we could be clear on a few things. But I appreciate everybody that been participating. And you don't have to. We all know this. We don't gotta support. We don't gotta do this, and we don't have to. But it's a good cause, because we're gonna stay animated, we're gonna stay active, and we're gonna be here when you need to really get through some shit, and you really need to know. You need some information on how to arm yourself with the best security, because look at, they want these dogs. They're not illegal. They are in some places, and that's how you know that they tightening up that grip. They changing the laws. I put the one in Alabama, well, the one about Alabama in the last one, volume 5. They're bullying. They're bullying. Alabama is they're playing bully with those bully tactics, with the fines and everything when it comes to chain laws. You got to know that. You got to know that. And then that gives the animal control and law enforcement, like, their job must be fun. Just roll around and look for people's dogs all day, wasting taxpayers' money. I don't even think there should be animal control. People should be able to do whatever with the fucking dog, you know. And that should be final. That's it. Keep your dog locked up. Don't let the motherfucker out. Don't have the dog if you can't keep him in your fence. If your dog gets out and somebody exterminates your fucking dog. I would rather have that than to have an animal control running around micromanaging and doing dumb shit, lying and shit. And you'd be like, oh, what if one of your dogs, shit, what if I would have had my shit secured so that motherfucker couldn't get out? And just people just leave me the fuck alone. Ask Tom Garner when's the last time he had a chain accident. You know? Or he lost a dog, just ran off and got off of his fucking property. Right? That's what security's all about. You don't have to have the minimum of security, right? You could tighten up and have more ways that the dog is gonna have to this thing is gonna have to fail tremendously in order for me to have an accident. You're doing the extra steps that it takes, not the bare minimum. You know? About to about an hour. I got some shit to do. Oh, get to it. Get to it. Clifton behind enemy lines. What up, brother? Salute. Salute everybody, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. You know, we don't want to burn by ourselves. We didn't want to burn by ourselves, man. Get that APBT magazine on Amazon. This ain't just a magazine. It's a movement. The American Pit Bull Terrier. Real dogs, real yards, real history. From legendary bloodlines to modern breeders, keeping the flame lit. Yard spotlights, breeding knowledge, controversy, culture. This is for the ones who walk it like they talk it. No fluff, no fakes, just dog man, dog woman, and dogs. Grab your issue now, support the culture. Because the legacy don't live online, it lives in print. Yep. Let me check some stuff out. Go get it. This one is I don't know if you guys seen this blazing around. get this up on here. See. We here. We here. We here. Let me get this up here. This is let me see. This is that Christian Rock. That Christian Rock bitch. We finally got her bred. And I think it's gonna be some good shit. Hey man. Damn man. I just saw something, man. I gotta stop, man. You guys gotta, man, knock it off. Knock it off. Anyway, well, we bred this bitch right here. As you can see, she's right off of Kid Rock. Fatality was right off of Michael Myers back to a daughter of Screaming Demon, which is her mother was off of Screaming Demon as well. And then taken back to Kid Rock at the top, son of Screaming Demon, to the Invicto with a little bit of Boudreaux out on that top. That Zambuca dog has a great deal of that, coming through the top half. So, you got a lot of Bolio Tombstone in there. You got Screaming Demon, just kind of, got a name of his own. Producing solid, good dogs. I wouldn't say across the board, but enough to be respected and recognized. I don't really know what's going on across the board. Other than, that's a solid line, the way it was bred. Especially the Kid Rock dog. There's been multiple good situations coming out of dogs bred that way. Obviously the Michael Myers line, the Mayday Dragon Lady line, basically the tightest Mayday line, right? The Mayday line that's gotten a lot of people excited again about Mayday dogs. There was a lot of people weren't dealing with them for a while, and Michael Myers kind of came through with a different dynamic, and it just seemed like the blood was just revitalized, with some of those dogs. And and you got your choices, man, when you make your breedings to tighten up on certain things and kind of keep certain things loose or this, and if you're not paying attention, you could be in a situation to where you're tightening up on the wrong shit. Like, you should have been tightening up on your little outcross that you had, because really your little outcross was better than, you know, your main course meal, right? So it's all about having refined dogs. Both of these dogs are beautiful. I ended up getting the another son of Michael Myers that was out there in the talks to be able to breed with Krishan and hopefully that turns out to be a good one. I don't know if I showed his ped before. I don't have it on a screenshot like that. I think that's just dope. I like the old pedigree online type of format. It's a little different. Feel me? But that breeding, both specimens look good. You know, they're not young dogs. Krishan got to be every bit of 5 years old. Uh, the male we bred to, the son of Michael Myers, he's every bit of 8 years old. If I had to guess, you know, I just say 8 years old or something. You know, that dog right there. Um, and nah, they look good. They look damn good. Let me see. I had a picture. I have one. There it go. Get these two up here. Like that. That's that's Krishan on the other side. That's pressure on the other side. Son of Michael Myers on the backside. You know, Krishan's just a good dog, man. Just great characteristics, great attitude. Just, you know, she's a man's type of dog. Like you can't just be like a boy handling that bitch at all. Um, you know, you're gonna have problems. She's a hell of a specimen. She's a hell of a fucking specimen, you dig? And she's loved. She's loved by the camp, respected, you know, for her bloodline, her contribution. I know we talk about the males a lot, but sometimes you need real solid bred females to 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 create. You know, the males, that's an extra bonus. But you can't let it just rely on a male all the time. You know, sometimes you got to breed that male to good bitches. And that's how you get the production up. That's how you get predominantly, you know, good litters with good puppies because you're taking that extra step to see it all the way through. You know, you're not bull jiving around. You're not bull jiving around, you dig? You know? So and shit, that might be 100 years. With you throw the top side on there, you know, the first two generations, you know, that might be 150 years worth of dogs. You know, these ain't puppies. These are not puppies. First three gens. Oh yeah. We're talking 150 years. 200 years. Not 9 years. You know, you look at the first 2, 3 generations, you know, like, come on, man. That's how you know that somebody's on bullshit. We talk about peddlers and we say, oh well, if such and such does it, then it's, you know, you can't have dogs if it wasn't for peddlers. You know, some people buy dogs off of dudes with integrity though. We're not always buying dogs off of peddlers, bro. Sometimes it's the right thing to do. Is to charge a motherfucker for that fucking puppy, you know, or keep it yourself. That just happens. APBT Magazine, like I said, tap in with us. Volume 6 gonna be out. You know, my guy, if you hear me, um, stack them up just like that. Throw that 6 in the middle, man. I think I'm gonna go yellow. I don't know. I did red for the volume 2. I redid the volume 2, and then I did black for the volume 5, blue for the volume 4. Right? I think I'm gonna have to hit him with the yellow though. You know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? What are we missing right now? We need a yellow book, a yellow magazine to make all my colors pop. Or do we need green? Right? He said yellow would be dope. Yeah. That might have to pop off, man. Cause I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, you know, what should I do? I kind of like the collage though. I might I like the just the straight picture because those pictures, I mean, they killed. You know, El Patron, you know, Emmy Vertnine, her male that she's got. Of course, Marisol, the queen of APBT Magazine, Hannibal Lecter daughter. Um, you know, Hannibal Lecter has Mafia pregnant right now. That's Iceman's littermate sister back to her half brother, Hannibal Lecter, double bred son of Michael Myers. This will be the tightest Michael Myers breeding that's been done since Hannibal Lecter. Or there's been a couple more because I did one, but 8 years, just say 9 years since a breeding like this has been done this tight. Uh 60 62.5% Michael Myers, right? So you can't just say you got a Michael Myers dog if it's just pushed way back and it's, you know, this is Michael Myers. This is some Michael Myers shit, right? Yeah, they're not probably not gonna have all the traits of every single dog, but if good is what he brought to the table, you're getting 62.5% of that. That's what's important. He said most definitely got to put a green out too. Yeah, nah, for sure. That green, I think that Celtic green or that peppermint green, kind of get it in, uh, just so we could be the dopest. We're always coming up with the ideas, and we're not holding back no punches when it comes to that. So, um, we just wanna do it right. We just want to do it right, bruh. That's it. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, that black gore. That black gore Iceman. This another sleeper. This another sleeper they slept on. The sleeper. Baby Osiris. Back to Mafia Myers. That's a cold ass breeding right there. That's not one you just want to let slip out of your radar, man. That breeding's done the right way. You're gonna get generations of good dogs. Uh, we was forced to let a male go off of this, and kept the bitch. Osiris is still alive. Mafia is still alive. So it was a gamble, but sometimes you got to make space, and sometimes the right guy that's not tire kicking slips on in. Cause what happens with a tire kicker, that gives you more time to change your mind. But when it's a guy that's talking money and he means business, you never let somebody get a chance to change their mind if you're trying to make good deals in the APBT community, because a lot of dudes they will sell it under pressure, but if another move comes through or they're able to move another piece, they will just not sell that piece. So, in order to get pieces like this, you got to be ready, man. You do. And oh boy won. He pulled a heist. Oh boy won. Cause he wasn't bullshitting. He pulled up. Like, yeah, I heard that before. They gonna pull up and all this. We hear that. We hear that too many times with the tire kickers. You should be able to hear a motherfucker's voice and know if he's a tire kicker, bro. Especially if the jug is a good deal. Like if it's expensive, okay, I might have called you a little too early. You're a little bit out my range. But when it's offered at a reasonable price, that you're thinking, you know, any serious guy would jump on one, but ask for another one. Like, hey, you got another one of them motherfuckers you want to let go too for that same price? So that's what it is, man. Heavy on that Michael Myers Lynch, Sonora, right? Yellow Man. Good dogs. He said, salute to the dogs. They are family. He said, this show is all about selling pups. I'm out. Eduardo, you're bipolar, dude. Why you even come over here, bro? Like, first you say, first 3 gens, they look real clean. Hey, you gotta not come to channels that if you don't fuck with, you're not gonna get this type of stock for free, bro. See, that's what they want. They want a channel that just give away pups every day. It's not gonna happen. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of money put into this shit, man. To have good shit. Eduardo, you know, we can't just cater to you just because you want free pups, bro. You had these dogs, you'll understand that, yeah, the breeding's gonna have to get made because it's a mandatory, let's preserve this blood because they're good, you know. But on the ones that slip out the back door, yeah, man, they gotta have a price, bruh. Or anybody could get them and misrepresent them. You know, you don't want people to misrepresent your stock if you care about your stock. You don't want people to do that, right? We want Tom Garner to get all the money anyway. So why would we sell a puppy? Why would we sell anything? Because we just want Garner to sell all the pups. You know, Garner talk about you guys, man. Sometimes these dudes crack me up. Crack me the fuck up, man. Let me see if I got how much time I got left. Boom. Okay. We're gonna get to this. Just letting you see some pads, bro. That's all. We just put them on the screen. Study them. See that shit. See that Croatina at the top, on the bottom. You know, that bitch was imported from Ecuador. I still got the receipt. You know, I had to get that bitch through customs. I feel like Philly. I feel like Philly and those guys, you know, when they import dogs, you know, I feel like Optimi, you know, when he imports dogs. What up, my brother? You know, when when he's importing those Staffords, right? He's not having no problem getting 3,000-4,000 a puppy. You know, he's not having no problems. It ain't nobody bickering and bitching. But in the APBT community, everybody wants to wonder about what you're doing. You know, they're not going to tell us how to do it better. They're not going to give us no tips and, you know, situations where that went bad so we can learn, you know, from that and then adjust what we do accordingly. You know, they don't do that. Right? So just look at the pedigree, man. You know, you got the yellow man stuff, all the buck stuff, yellow page. She's a heavy Mayday buck, macho buck type of bred bitch. She's heavy Mayday buck. She birthed a son named Mayday Buck. You know, and a whole slew of good dogs coming behind that. She was one of the bitches that got to breed to Michael Myers multiple times, 2 times. That's something to hold in high regard. If I wasn't here to tell this story, then, you know, that would be something that you had to scratch your head like, that bitch must have been somebody if she was able to breed to a elite producer like that. Right. The import bitch, you know, she got imported. She got imported in. You know, you gonna test the waters with that. That shit, it's on another level. Just with the animalistic, you know, just like wow, okay, okay, I see what's going on. Breed those two together, hybrid vigor instantly. First breeding, hybrid vigor. It's before YouTube. It's not, you know, we're not coming here for that. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh, Eduardo's back. CJP 55. What up, brother? Blessings to the room. What the hell? What up, you rock? He said, I want free puppies from you. I don't know you, but I sure can go to Loki Lopez and get free pups and return them back. I can go to Bulldog Barn and get dogs. I came on here to listen about about dogs. Yeah. Hey, listen, them guys got dogs. Them guys got plenty of dogs. They talk about dogs. I don't see nothing different. And I'm not gonna talk down on those guys, but they don't have this shit. I tell you that, you know. And salute to those guys, and you know their programs and everything. You know, Lucky Lopez. You know, I mean, you know, he seemed like a cool guy, but it ain't this. You know, this ain't that. You know, so good. If you could have did that, then you would have already did it. And if the dogs were that good that you say you getting from these guys, if they were that good, then people would be knowing about them, right? You wouldn't have to go get any. The reason why you got to go get some is because you don't have none, you know? Because in my situation, I don't want none of that shit, you know? I'm not going to fucking fuck up what I got going on to risk breeding with that shit. When you already got something that's working, that's a characteristic of somebody that's already got it figured out. They don't need to go there to Lucky Lopez and fucking Bulldog Barn and shit. You know, we don't need to do that. You know? We don't need to do that when you already got the top blood. Now, what you need to do is find some new guys to get dogs from, homie. You know, so we don't got to chase trends. We don't got to do none of that. Like I said, both of those guys, you know, you do their social media thing, and you know what I'm saying? They, you know, I don't know, bro, what they do, and I don't care. You know, this ain't the type of, I'm not the type of guy that is starstruck like you. You know, that's the difference. You know, I look at myself as equal eye to eye. You know, I don't look up to, oh, I'll call my big homie and get a free dog and return him. Like, bro, I'll give you a fucking free dog, homie. You know, you're talking to the guru, man. You are. But, nah, look, at no bad blood, bro. Like I said, I want y'all to comment, or I wouldn't, you know, I could just close the comment. You can't comment at all, nobody. But I want y'all to leave your comments and, you know, how you feel and, you know, whatnot. Yeah, we're going to promote. If I got guys that got litters out here and they're doing the right thing and they're honest, and I know that they can deliver a healthy puppy to somebody that wants one, and they're not going to make me look bad in the process, right? And they're not doing illegal shit with the dogs. Yeah, I'm a help them out, because that's what a platform is about, right? And I believe in the dogs at that. I believe they're good dogs and not just some bullshit or some shit that I don't know about. You know, motherfuckers that been breeding for fucking 100 years and don't have 100 dogs to say that, okay, these are good dogs. You don't have a Mount Rushmore of shit. Just a bunch of fucking heartfelt shit. You know, heartfelt. Oh, that's you know, whatever her fucking name is. Okay. He said that Werner is a hater from Facebook to YouTube. Every time he comments on anything, it's some hate. Hey, man, I knew it. I knew it. Because this ain't the first time I seen him pull up on me. It's not. This isn't the first time that he's pulled up, and you know what I'm saying? He pulls up, but that's why I said he's bipolar, because sometimes, and most of the time, he's cool. Like, you know, you ain't even tripping. Like, you know, you just, you know, but now all of a sudden, you know, oh, you know, hey. I just seen Tom Garner make a video about overbites and shit. You feel me? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? He's talking about he sold a dog with some overbites, and now everybody's disgruntled about overbites and shit. He made a whole fucking video explaining overbites and shit. You know? I can't make this shit up. I can't make this shit up, dog. You know? It's been a lot of pussyfooting around these topics. You know, cats don't want to talk about these topics. You know, a lot of pussyfooting around the bush. You dig? Let me see. Let me see if I can get this to you. Hold up. Let me see. Show you big cousin. See if we can get Big Cuzzo. Big Cuzzo Fuzzo. Let's see if we can get Big Cuzzo Fuzzo on here. Let me see.
Functional advantages that we don't.
He talking about advantage. Let's get Cuzzo Fuzzo. Let's get Cuzzo Fuzzo out here. I can't with you guys. I can't. So I guess he's gonna explain away about these overbites, and I said it about these dogs, but I get it. He's great at what he does because he can always make a good. he can make a good ass excuse for the shit, man. You know, like, and then tried to turn the flaw into like over the clean bite. Oh, this one was great. This one right here was great, y'all. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
We've never taken the time to explore, and that is that is relevant to what's going on with the underbite thing. Most people at this point, I have people call me saying my puppy's got a 1/16 of an inch underbite. I guess I can't breed him. Well, that's just...
Nobody says that because a 1/16 of an inch is damn near a perfect bite. So nobody's gonna have a 1/16 of an inch underbite and complain about anything, you know? Oh, and I can't breed it. Come on, Tom. You know, but we always focus on Buck City, what Buck City's doing, right? So I don't know.
What's the word? Bullshit. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. An underbite has not always been just a flaw. It was something that was bred into our dogs to create bulldogs. If you look at the alignment of like the old bulldog that was actually used for bringing down a bull, you have a significant underbite. And you look, well, how do they possibly use that to any benefit? Well, if you really study it, and if you look at what our dogs do when we put them up we hang something up in a tree for them to jump up and grasp, you see how they get into a rhythm of hammering down, just hammering down. And essentially that's what was bred into them for bringing a bull to its knees. Bull can be a dangerous creature, and for a farmer that had to control a bull, a bulldog was invaluable. So, but look at what happens with the teeth, with the configuration with an underbite, with the canines, the top canines set back significantly from the bottom canines. Well, if the dog jumps up and gets a hold on the muzzle, on the nose of a cow or a bull, what happens is the points of the top teeth go in as far as they can drive them with the jaw strength that they have. But then whenever they hammer down with their body weight, that changes the angle of the head, and it brings the top teeth deep into the soft tissue of the nose, and it changes position like that. Well, that's locked in. All the leverage is driving those top teeth in deeper and deeper, and every time they hammer down with their body weight, they're putting it in deeper and deeper. A dog with a totally aligned, correct bite, pretty much going to have to hold on with biting force. There's not leverage issues that come to bear. So you need to get out of your mind that a significant underbite, is purely a phenotypical flaw. It is there is a design, there is a method at work underneath the fact and behind the fact that this was bred into a segment of the bulldog that was primarily designated to bring bulls down and other large animals. So need to correct the thinking. I apparently heightened the awareness of the degree of consequence of an underbite. It's some of the best dogs I ever had underbite, and I think they probably tend to bite a little harder. Just the leverage issues, again, favor the underbite. For example, my spike dog had a significant underbite, probably a quarter of an inch. Didn't throw it much. Never was an issue in his offspring. Hell of a dog in every way that he was measured. So whenever I'm offering dogs at discounts, it's because they got half or 3/4 of an inch really significant underbite, and it's for aesthetic reasons. I think what I'm going to look at in the future is, with all the inbreeding that we do, anything that is less than 1/4 of an inch, I think it comes with the territory, and there is an advantage to it in certain venues, certain activities. So move forward with your understanding of a underbite, temper it a bit with these other rationales and understandings. Okay, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Hi, I'm Tom Garner. We're on Bulldog Hill, July 13th, 2026. This is a segment of my thoughts program.
My thoughts. Tom, man. Tom is good, man. Tom is good. He's good because nobody's going to give a fuck about what he's doing or how many puppies he's selling or whatever. You know, nobody's going to care, man. They're going to eat it up no matter what. No matter what goes on, they're going to eat that shit up. Now, I talked about some of these dogs with significant underbites, overbites, different things, just genetically, they were flawed, in my opinion, Yeah, you could have a dog that's probably can overcome some of that stuff, but it's going to be more problematic with your breeding. People don't want that, especially if you're in the conformation ring. Conformation is still a big thing when it comes to these dogs. There's been numerous amounts of good dogs that have great conformation, and their mouth and everything is sound. Everything is good. So we're not like at a shortage to the point where we had to keep every genetic flaw and think about a venue that he could be good at, because if that's the case, we might as well keep them all. Rather, if he doesn't even have a fucking nose, because his ass could jump up a fucking wall and wall climb, right? Or he's a super fast treadmill racer, right? So we'll just keep them for anything. That's making excuses instead of being in your own reality about the dogs. My thing is this: if your best dogs are the ones that have underbites and overbites, then you ain't really producing shit, bro. Cause you mean to tell me that whole line you can't even produce a straight dog that could represent that line? That lets me know that you just one of those guys that only produce good dogs every now and then, and you get so happy about that one dog that you produce so bad that you got to keep every single dog with bad genetics, bro. You know, um, and that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Showtime. You know, that's my goddamn opinion about it. You know, especially coming from a big breeder, I wouldn't expect him to be like that. But obviously, he's been selling these dogs like this because I said this a long time ago. And it was actually a guy that bought a dog off of him, and he was like, "Hey man, what do you think? You know, this dog, this overbiting, you know, all this underbiting, you know, all this." And Garner was like, basically, you know, those some of those dogs are better. Some of those dogs were real, you know. And to me, that was just like he probably thought old dude was green, because that shit wouldn't have worked on me. I'm gonna tell you that. Like, wait a minute, huh? Wait a minute, bro. Like, I bought a clean dog. You know, that means you're not really checking these dogs when they're puppies. You're not looking in that mouth. And sometimes dogs will get through customs or get through the threshold, and they'll have these flaws, and you just won't pick up on them, or the guy that did the whelping doesn't pick up on it, so you end up selling a couple, and then boom, somebody calls back and says, this dog has a significant overbite. Like, oh fuck, he slipped through, but you're not supposed to let that slip through. That's a part of not paying attention. That's when you start to go into that peddler mode. You're getting on peddler mode. And it's nothing bad. Everybody do what they do. Motherfuckers make millions of dollars off these dogs, bro. Get your money. That's me. Go get your fucking bread, right? But if you the top, then we expect more of you. It's like, okay, well, I'm not tripping. I can cull some of these dogs out of here. That just lets you know that there's no culling process. And you wonder why you have sporadic amounts of good dogs, and you have a shitload of bad dogs, a shitload of people that are talk shit. And rather, if they on the sideline or wherever the sideline or whatever line they on, there's also truth to some of these claims. So like I said, I'm just the guy that's talking smack. Never mind me. This is the Wake and Bake Show. And
It's been bothering me for a couple of weeks now.
how's that audio? Is that audio sounding like double, or is it on point? Let me know how that audio is. Like when did standards change, bruh? When did standards change, bruh? Is that audio on that clip good, or is it jacked up? Let me know. Oh, it's on point? Okay. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Okay. Sometimes it'd be weird, like it's playing double or something, it'd be crazy.
I really need to address this.
Appreciate it.
We have, over the last couple of years, we've had a few dogs that we produce that we have offered for sale at a discount because they had significant underbites.
Okay, so because that hit the thing. What's significant? 3 inches? What is significant? Right? Can we get a measuring stick and see what significant is? We gotta dissect this shit. If you want to be the best, you gotta dissect the best. And if you don't want to be dissected, don't be the best. Don't be the best.
And in the process of calling attention to that, I have inadvertently.
Oh, man. Just talk regular, bruh. Just talk regular, homie. You gonna be all right, man. I make sure they don't jump on you, man. You gonna be all right, man.
Led the fraternity to believe that an underbite is completely and absolutely a flaw, and that a dog that has any underbite has lost its worth. That's absolutely not true. The OCD part of our personalities, our minds, we want everything to be symmetrical. And
I bet you if I go to that yard right now and look in every dog's mouth, there's a significant amount that have underbites, bro. Now, there's probably some good bites on there. There's probably some great bites. But there's dogs that's going to have that. That's not really a bad thing unless it's popping up over and over and over again. Like if you get a line of dogs and you're just trying to hold on to it just for nostalgia, or you just get Frisco just because he's off a Chinaman and everybody, well, you know, he could, like Vinny said, he could have sold 200. If he had 100 off a Chinaman, he could have sold 200 off a Chinaman. So sometimes, based on the advantage that you're given, you can kind of rush into things and jump on dogs and you know, go all in with the marbles and forget all about the genetics and everything. And pretty soon you have to keep sons off of this dog, grandsons off of this dog. You got to keep this bloodline going, but that bloodline continuously spits out bad, defected offsprings. You got to know that. You got to know that, bro.
orderly, often confusing the worth of what we're doing. In a lot of cases, there's functional advantages that we've never taken the time to explore, and that is relevant to what's going on with the underbite thing. Most people at this point, I have people call me saying my puppy's got a 1/16 of an inch underbite. I guess I can't breed him. Well, that's just, what's the word? Bullshit. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. An underbite has not always been just a flaw. It was something that was bred into our dogs to create bulldogs. If you look at the alignment of like the old bulldog that was actually used for bringing down a bull, you have a significant underbite, and you look, well, how do they possibly use that to any benefit? Well, if you really study it, and if you look at what our dogs do when we put them up we hang something up in a tree for them to jump up and grasp, you see how they get into a rhythm of hammering down, just hammering down. And essentially that's what was bred into them for bringing a bull to its knees. Bull can be a dangerous creature, and for a farmer that had to control a bull, a bulldog was invaluable. So, but look at what happens with the teeth, with the configuration with an underbite, with the canines, the top canines set back significantly from the bottom canines. Well, if the dog jumps up and gets a hold on the muzzle, on the nose of a cow or a bull, what happens is the points of the top teeth go in as far as they can drive them with the jaw strength that they have. But then whenever they hammer down with their body weight, that changes the angle of the head, and it brings the top teeth deep into the soft tissue of the nose, and it changes position like that. Well, that's locked in. All the leverage is driving those top teeth in deeper and deeper, and every time they hammer down with their body weight, they're putting it in deeper and deeper. A dog with a totally aligned, correct bite, pretty much going to have to hold on with biting force.
So that would be worse, right? Cortland Ross, what up, brother? Hey, man, look. You guys better be careful out here, man. Be careful out here. Be careful out here. No grifters. No tailpipe lifters. No tailpipe lifters. No grifters. Oh, man, we wrote it out, though. We wrote it out. Hey, man, hit that like button. It's free. The like button is free. Don't be acting bougie. Get that like up. No grifters. Let me see. Yeah. Hey, Havoc with the 7-month membership. My brother, appreciate you, my brother. Hey, man, the membership's been keeping the channel alive, man. The membership's been keeping the channel alive. Appreciate the support, my brother. I be thankful for the shit I got. Did some time for them dogs, but not them dudes I shot. All that money in the pot, you say it's not a lot. All that cap on them shows, man, it gotta stop. To them rats that ever took the stand. Took your brother from, you never see him again. Make $1 million, cast a fucking plan. Thanks for the super chat, we can run it again. Tailpipe lifters. Tailpipe lifters. Tap in with me. Tap in. Let's get this APBT Magazine. Get on Amazon.com. Order it. Make your next move your best move. And we'll see y'all on the next one, man. Buck City, What the Helly TV, APBT Magazine. It was a good one. Gotta go. We out. Yep. I ain't lying. We gotta go.